All right, so get us. We're diving into something today, a little different, why men in uniform seem to have that extra something.
Yeah.
It's more than just looking sharp, right?
Right. And the Lost Tapes podcast, their episode on this really got me thinking.
Oh, yeah?
Like, there's some serious psychology going on here.
Absolutely. I mean,
Fascinating.
it's not just the clothes, right? It's like our brains are hardwired to react
It really is.
to uniforms in a way that goes way back.
It's fascinating.
Mhm.
Yeah, evolutionarily speaking, even.
So, okay, let's just start with the most basic thing. Uniforms equal authority, right? I mean, you see a police officer, military personnel, you just instantly know
Oh, yeah.
who's in charge.
Absolutely.
Why does that make our hearts beat a little faster, though?
Well, you got to think about what a uniform really is. It's like visual shorthand for societal order, It's the people who are upholding the rules and ultimately keeping us safe.
Makes sense.
And there's even research on that.
Oh, really?
People are more likely to obey instructions from someone in a uniform, almost like our brains are just primed to respond to that authority figure.
I can see that.
Yeah.
It's like that feeling when you see a police officer show up and things are chaotic. You instantly just feel this.
Relief,
Yeah. Like everything's going to be okay.
it's like a primal instinct kicks in, right?
Yeah.
That deep-seated need we all have for protection. And uniforms, especially those associated with law enforcement or the military, they tap right into that.
For sure.
It's amazing how quickly our brains make that connection.
And it's not just about feeling protected either.
Right.
There's that hero element too. We
Absolutely.
see firefighters running into a burning building or soldiers putting themselves in harm's way, and it just
Yeah.
triggers this.
Like something romantic almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that selflessness, that willingness to risk it all for others. Incredibly powerful.
For sure.
And uniforms become almost symbolic
Mm,
of these heroic qualities.
absolutely.
It adds another layer to that allure.
Well, let's be real for a sec.
Okay.
Those uniforms are often showing off some pretty impressive physiques.
Yeah.
Firefighters, soldiers, they're usually in great shape.
Right.
Is that just a coincidence or is there something more to it?
Well, there's definitely some evolutionary stuff going on there, I think.
Yeah.
Go back to like our hunter-gatherer days.
Mm-hmm.
Physical strength and fitness, that was survival.
Yeah.
So it's not surprising that we're still drawn to those qualities, even if it's subconscious.
So you're saying that we're programmed to be attracted to these strong, capable men in uniform? Because
Yeah.
way back when, our ancient brains are thinking, hey,
Right.
this guy could protect me from a saber-toothed tiger or like, a traffic jam.
Exactly.
It all goes back to that.
It's that primal instinct.
Wow.
And it's more common than you might think.
I bet.
But it's not just the physical strength either. Uniforms also represent discipline and responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty attractive qualities in a partner, right?
Absolutely. I mean, think about it. The training, the strict rules. It shows they're focused, dedicated, reliable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All of that wrapped up in that uniform. And it's not just about them, though. It's about the job, too.
All right.
These uniforms often mean someone who really takes those responsibilities seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's caring for the sick, upholding the law, or protecting others,
Mm-hmm.
these roles, they just come with a certain weight.
It's true.
That can be very alluring.
They're like, I got this. And you believe them.
Exactly.
There's like this level of trust that comes with that uniform.
Yeah.
It's almost like a guarantee of competence.
It is, and that sense of competence is even stronger because the uniform itself is so structured.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about it. A crisp, well-maintained uniform, it signals reliability discipline.
It's like that whole thing, clothes make the man,
Yeah.
but here it's more like uniform makes the man even more appealing.
Right.
Something about that sharp look, that attention to detail.
Yeah.
It makes you think, wow, this person has it all together.
It's so interesting how those visuals can just completely change how we see someone.
Totally.
And it's not just about what we see in real life, though.
What do you mean?
Pop culture has a huge impact here.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Think about all the movies and TV shows that
Exactly.
romanticize men in uniform.
All the time, right?
Yeah, those heart-stopping scenes of like a soldier or a firefighter rescuing someone.
It's like they're feeding into our fantasies.
Totally. And it's not just about the guy in the uniform either.
Right.
It's about the larger-than-life image that the uniform represents.
Absolutely. It's like they embody something bigger,
Yeah.
a sense of purpose and duty that's just so attractive.
Powerful.
Yeah, and that connection to something larger, a sense of belonging,
Yeah.
purpose,
Mhm.
that can be incredibly powerful. It
Yeah.
speaks to our need for meaning in life and the people we're with.
So we've got this crazy mix of primal instincts, cultural influences.
Yeah.
a dash of
Here,
fantasy,
all mixed up.
all around this image of a man in uniform. No wonder we find them so captivating.
And remember, we haven't even talked about like the practical side of it yet.
Oh, right. You mean the steady job, the good benefits, the security that comes with a lot of these jobs?
Exactly.
I mean, that has to be a factor too, right?
Big time, especially these days, you know?
Yeah.
Everything feels so uncertain.
Yeah.
Knowing someone has a reliable job, good income, that's a huge source of comfort
It's true.
and attraction.
So it's not just about the excitement and the hero stuff. It's about feeling safe and secure too.
Right, and that could be emotionally or financially.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because it ties right back to that need for stability and protection we were talking about.
Exactly.
The uniform becomes the symbol of stability,
It
a
does.
sign that this person can provide and protect.
It's that mix of practical and symbolic that makes uniforms so compelling.
For sure.
But here's the thing, this attraction, it's not always a conscious choice.
Really?
Yeah, it can be driven by these really deep-seated desires and associations that we're not even aware of.
Wow. That's what's so fascinating about this. It's like our brains are programmed to respond to these cues and uniforms with all their symbolism and cultural baggage. They just trigger all these positive reactions. It makes you think how much of our attraction is really our choice
Right.
versus just our subconscious.
It's a great question, and one we're going to keep digging into
I can't wait.
as we get even deeper into this topic.
Okay.
There are so many more fascinating angles to uncover.
Welcome back. It's been really interesting unpacking this whole thing about why men in uniform are so appealing.
It has.
It's kind of crazy how many different factors are involved.
Yeah. It's like we peeled back the layers of an onion and found even more layers underneath.
For sure.
We've got our instincts mixed up with cultural influences and practical stuff,
Right.
and even some fantasy sprinkled in there.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a recipe for attraction, that's for sure.
But I think it's important to say that, not everyone's automatically drawn to men in uniform.
Oh, of course not.
Right.
Attraction is so personal.
Yeah.
It depends on your preferences, your experiences, your culture, even.
Yeah, like if someone's had a bad experience with a police officer, they probably aren't going to find that uniform very appealing.
Exactly. Our past can really shape how we see things and who we're attracted to.
It's true.
What's hot for one person could be a total turnoff for someone else.
Yeah,
And that's totally okay.
right.
There's no one-size-fits-all when it comes to attraction.
And let's not forget about the actual person under the uniform.
Right.
Just because they wear a certain uniform doesn't automatically mean they have all those qualities we've been talking about.
Exactly. Uniforms, they're symbols.
Yeah.
They can represent things, but they don't guarantee anything about the person wearing them.
That's a good point.
It's like judging a book by its cover.
Yeah.
You might be drawn to a fancy design and a catchy title, but you don't know the story until you read it.
So it's a good reminder that, attraction is about connecting with a person
Absolutely.
on a deeper level.
It goes way beyond just how they look.
For sure.
The uniform might catch your eye at first,
Uh-huh.
but it's their personality, their values, their character that really makes the difference.
It's about who they are as a person.
Exactly.
Well, we've had a lot of fun talking about why men in uniform can be so attractive,
We have.
but it's really those deeper connections that matter the most.
Absolutely. And as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a question.
Okay.
How much of our attraction do you think is a conscious choice? And how much is influenced by things we're not even aware of?
That's a great question to think about. Thanks for listening to this deep dive. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your insights and keep the conversation going.
Dive into the shadows of human nature with the Lost Tapes podcast, where the truths hidden beneath our daily lives are brought to light. We uncover the layers of complex relationships, hidden emotions, and raw realities, from mental health to life's hardest truths. No topic is off limits, no story too raw. The Lost Tapes podcast is your invitation to understand the unspoken facets of life. Join us and let's explore life's hidden sides, one story at a time. Don't miss out on more hidden truths. Subscribe now to the Lost Tapes podcast. Stay curious. Stay informed. Click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to never miss an episode.